Hello, hello. Welcome or welcome back to my space. I hope you are doing well. So I opened a few cards and I kind of feel that it's a group of people, but maybe we might be talking specifically about one person. They feel right now very fragile. They feel confused because there is for them an understanding how, in fact, whatever they believe is based on nothing. They are realizing, in fact, now, and it is through you, through your energy, through what they see of you, your reality, understanding that they have misread you totally, they are now facing how, in fact, all their beliefs are just based on nothing, right? So, we have here at the bottom of the deck the High Priestess in reverse. No intuition, fake beliefs, right? We are starting here. This is the setting and the subject with the Seven of Fire. We are talking here about boundaries, defensiveness, right? When people have a first impression of you, right? People say, yeah, you have to trust your first impression. But here's the thing. If you are carrying all kind of beliefs due to unhealed wounds, so you might be very reactive or have some kind of judgments that are not, in fact, a reflection of the reality, because you are looking at life through the lens of your unhealed wounds, right? And I kind of feel that this is what they are realizing right now, so maybe not in the depth of what I'm explaining to you, but I truly feel here that there is kind of a feeling of fragility, of weakness, of confusion, while in fact, it's interesting because they are confused now, realizing that in the past, all their judgments were based on nothing, right? So in fact, there is a clarity about a confusion, but I kind of feel that what we are talking about here, it is this deep state of being in a fog and being confused. It's awakening to the fact that all you have believed, all your assumptions were wrong, right? So as said, we have here the Seven of Fire, talking about boundaries, talking about defenses, right? Then we have in the second place the Five of Water, the Five of Cups. This is grief, right? We are in the second place, so we are talking about relationship, partnership, all those kind of things. There is here the element of grief, and there is the element of not feeling in your home. And when I'm talking about home, it might be your own body, your own mind, out of your comfort zone, right? So there is here some kind of grief about a belief that they have, right? That in fact is coming from their own defensiveness, right? So we have here the Tree of Water in reverse, the Tree of Cups in reverse. This is the driving energy. Here we are talking about toxic social circle. We are talking about gossip. We are talking about a toxic lifestyle, right? Unhealthy interactions with other people. Then we have the Judgment in reverse, right? In fact, with the Judgment card, right, it is kind of, we can have the image of people going up, right? The end of their life, they are going and they are facing, sorry, I feel that I just moved the camera, facing the highest, and the highest is deciding if they are forgiven, if they are going to the next chapter or not. They are not. The judgment is in reverse, right? They didn't pass the test, they didn't learn the lessons, right? So there is no ascension. And here, in the path shift and the change, we have your energy, the Nine of Cups, the Nine of Water, talking about wish fulfillment, talking about self-confidence, self-worth, self-love, emotional independence. So there is here something about you understanding something much bigger through you, right? Because I kind of feel here that what happened, it is that your confidence your presence has been judged in very, very wrong way. And it was coming from assumptions. And I kind of feel that what we are talking about here, it is people having this inner book of assumptions and realizing now through you how in fact this book is based on nothing real. Nothing real. Interesting. We have here the Three of Swords. This is heartbreak. This is betrayal, right? Yeah, look, here. The Ace of Wands in reverse. This is some kind of... it's the contrary of a aha moment, right? It is receiving some kind of information but not getting it the right way, right? Interesting. And then we have the King of Wands here in reverse, the King of Fire in reverse, being very much in control. I kind of feel now that people are realizing that while they might have been very, very sure of themselves, one second, I want to put back the card here in the, so I can see it, I can remember what was on the bottom of the deck. People through you are awakening to the fact that whatever they believed, whatever assumptions they made, maybe during all their life, everything in fact is fake. And I am telling you the reason why it is fake, and we know it, it is here. It is because everything, every conclusion that they have drawn in their life, you know, our brain, when we don't feel safe, right, will try to feel safe. And so in order to feel safe, somebody wants to feel in some kind of control. And so in order to feel in control, we are trying to assess situations, right? So let's go to a primal example. We know that if we are alone facing a wild animal like a lion, right, in the jungle, so we don't know if this lion is hungry or not, we immediately know the lion, danger, going away, right? And it's kind of what people are doing in social circles, right? They are putting judgment on people because it makes them feel safe. And when someone is unhealed, so they at the end of the day, what happens, it is that they are putting people in boxes. You do this, then you are that. If you do this, you are that. If you do this, you are that. Which is not a bad thing by itself. I became extremely good at reading people because I did that. But I did that with awareness, with doubting myself all the time. with knowing my own triggers, right? My own lens, right? I knew that I was looking at people, experiences through the lens of my own wounds, right? And I knew my wounds, and I healed my wounds, right? But here we are talking about people who don't have all this awareness, right? They believe in what they think. They are not doubting what they think. So they are just on this, I want to see, automatic mental behavior of putting people in boxes. And you, the way that you appear in life, there is something about your energy of confidence. So, did people thought that you were lacking self-confidence? Maybe because you are kind, understanding, empathetic. Maybe because you were not reacting when people were doing ugly things. Maybe because you had some kind of discomfort with other people's discomfort, right? So you were prioritizing peace, right, over what they call self-respect. Is it your people-pleaser nature? And is it that once you started to react, then suddenly they saw you as arrogant? Did they, since the beginning, judge your confidence as arrogance? I don't know. I kind of feel that we are all different. I feel that usually for most of us, of the collective, it's more like they are judging our energy as lack of confidence, as weakness, right? Okay, so anyway, I want to get a little bit deeper into that. I think that it's a very, very interesting reading. I have to be honest with you. I find it very, very interesting. I want to use this deck. Just a reminder, this is a collective reading, which means that it is a group reading, which means that it might be for you, it might be partly for you, and it might not be for you. If I am talking about masculines or feminines, I'm not especially talking about the gender. I am talking about the energy of the card, so please apply it however it applies, and this reading can be past, present, or future. So the major arcana that we have here, it is the Judgment in reverse, right? So this is in the position of the stability and the foundation. So as said, I kind of feel that people didn't reach after the Judgment, we have the world, right? So the world, it is you are ending your cycle because you learned your lessons, right? So here, it's not the case. We are talking about the unhealed part of people operating from there without conscience, without awareness, right? So let's see here, the Seven of Fire. Yeah, the Star in reverse. And the world. Interesting, yeah. So people acting out of alignment, right? Not connected to their higher self, and being stuck there. We have the World card here. Being stuck there. This is what I tell you. I feel that they were operating from this place of defense, protection, ego, all those kind of things without ever questioning themselves. This is the difference, right? Because we are all automatically acting from this place. But the difference, it is the person who is self-reflecting, the person who has awareness, self-awareness, and is questioning their own thoughts, and people that are not, right? And here I truly feel that we are talking about someone or a group. We might be talking about a group of people here, right? We have the Three of Cups. Who they didn't question themselves, and I kind of feel that they might have taken the fact that you were questioning yourself as said weakness, which might be a weakness if you are dealing with people who are using that in order to gaslight you, in order to project on you, in order to manipulate you, for example, right? But at the end of the day, you are much more in the reality because you know that you need to question your reality. Here we are talking about people who didn't question their reality. They were comfortable with what they thought. Listen, some people, they don't want to question their reality, right? It might be that their ego is too big, right? And it might simply be that they are not interested. It's comfortable for them. And some people, truly, they don't have the awareness to know that they should question themselves, right? Tell me here something else about the Seven of Wands. Wait 1 second, I want to check that you can see all the cards. You can, and I can even move them. Love that. Okay. Tell me something else here about the Seven of Wands, please. Look, we have the Devil here. We have 3 major arcana. So we are truly talking here about people's behavior. This is their programming, right? And their programming was all coming from a place of emotional protection, right? Listen, the Star in reverse, the World, and the Devil. The Devil, right? So here we are talking about people who are in desperate need of bonding with other people, but they are bonding from a very, very unhealthy place. I'm sorry. 1 second. I hear my fur baby. I want to see that she's okay. Où tu es, mon amour? I don't know where she is. Okay, but she's not on the bed. And she's not stuck somewhere high where she needs my help. So apparently she just wants to talk. I don't know if you can hear her, but I hear her. Okay. Yeah, so we are truly talking here about... I feel that there is some kind of awakening here, right? They have awakened to their own false narrative. Okay, let's see here the Five of Cups. The Four of Fire. The Ten of Pentacles. And the Seven of Wands. Yeah, listen. As said, here we are talking about grief. I feel that what they are truly grieving here, it is right now what they believed about you, right? Because I kind of feel that they totally misjudge you. I feel that they didn't consider you, or they judged you very maybe as unstable, maybe as you won't do anything regarding your life, like you are not important, right? You are not important. You are not a benefit to society. You are a lost case. Something like that, right? This is what I feel here. Yeah, and they realize now that in fact whatever they believed about you was based on their own inner narrative that are based on nothing real. Nothing real. There is here truly a grief, but I feel also that the grief is coming from the fact that they have considered you as someone not to consider, someone irrelevant, maybe someone easy to take down, right? And they realize that it's not the case. And more than that, I kind of even feel that there is some kind of fear here, because with the 10 of Pentacles here, we are talking about the ultimate fulfillment. We are talking here about someone who is leaving some kind of legacy, right? So I kind of feel that we are talking here about people who might have truly walked all over you when you were already down, thinking that you would just not be there anymore, right? Or that has participated in some kind of way. Yeah, let's see here. Let me get a little bit more about that. There is also here the element of, I kind of feel that they thought that they would always have access to you, maybe because they thought that you are so stupid, so naive, that they would always be able to come back in. And I kind of feel that they realize that it's not the case, right? That you have your boundaries up, they have no access, and they have no access not from a place of fear coming from you, but from a place of you are not interested, right? I kind of feel that those people felt superior to you. And now they awaken to the fact that they are, not that you might see them this way. I'm not talking about your perception of them, but their perception of themselves, right? When before they thought that they were better than you, now they feel the opposite, right? Is there anything else here about this Five of Cups? Yeah, the King of Pentacles in reverse, right? They are corrupted. They are materialistic. They are superficial. They are judging people based on nothing. On appearances, maybe on titles, on status. Yeah, very, very superficial level. Very superficial level. And this is why I kind of feel that now they realize, in fact, right? Because it's very easy to manipulate people on the appearances, right? We saw people, the biggest crooks, we saw there were a few documentaries that were made, right? About Anna, I don't know what, and the Tinder swindler. You know, it's easy to manipulate people based on image, based on titles. You can invent titles. You can invent a whole story about yourself that doesn't exist, right? I wanted to show you the High Priestess in reverse. It's so easy, you know, it's like when it happened in the past, right? I learned not to say anything anymore, but in the past, you know, I'm not looking at all those appearances, right? I might be looking at them, but more like, why are you wearing that? What are you trying to showcase here, right? But I already had situations where, for me, because I'm not looking at the superficiality in the same way, I cannot be impressed by superficiality, by titles. I'm not thinking in an opportunistic way, right? That it was obvious for me that some people were huge manipulators, right? And so you know, when I knew that I was dealing with someone who has a lack of confidence, it is so an unaware lack of self-confidence, right? it is so easy to manipulate them. And so, you know, sometimes people say, yeah, but they were so nice. And I remember saying to some people, do you know how easy it is to be sympathetic? Do you know how easy it is? It's nothing. It's nothing. If I see that you have a lack of confidence on something, I know that I can compliment you and you will love me. It's as easy as that. You cannot fall into those traps. But here we are talking about people who are falling into those traps, right? We are talking about titles, we are talking about appearances, we are talking about you are a friend of this friend, or you worked for this company. So you understand, they are looking at everything from a very superficial point of view. So they don't see the human, what they see, it is the mask. Right? Okay, let's see here. The Three of Cups. Because in reality, right, somebody who is truly confident, they don't need all of those things. They don't need it. Right? Yeah, listen. Our sneaky card here, we are asking about the Three of Cups in reverse. The Three of Cups in reverse, we are talking about the toxic environment, the karmic environment, the toxic lifestyle, the gossip, right? And we have here exposure of lies, manipulations, backstabbing, lack of accountability, lack of responsibility, trying to get away with something, right? Yeah, this is exactly what it is. This is what we are talking about. People awakening to maybe their own lack of awareness, their own lack of understanding now that whatever they believe, in fact, is an illusion. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay, tell me something else here about this Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah, we have the transformation card here, right? Because you, that they saw in a certain light, right? Judging you, it all goes back to you here, right? It is people misjudging you, misjudging your confidence, misjudging whatever you say, misjudging your stability, your life purpose, who you are, your legacy, right? They understand now something through you. We have the Temperance card. We have a lot of major arcana here, right? We started here with 3 major arcana. We have here 2 major arcana. Yeah, there is here, with this Temperance card, I truly feel here that seeing you now in a different light that is so different of what they thought about you, it is creating here some kind of transformation, right? I kind of feel that this is people awakening to themselves, awakening to their own lies, manipulations, how they were conning themselves, how they were betraying themselves, in fact, right? And I truly feel here that it all comes down to you, to what they are seeing about you now, what cannot be denied about you now. And it is your stability, and it is your soul path and your legacy, right? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love that. Okay. Let's see. And I know that you might say, yeah, I don't care about all those people. We are not talking about that, right? You might say that you don't care about those people, but we do care about the energy of the collective, right? So we might not want to deal with people that we dealt with in the past that made our life more difficult for no kind of reason, right? And we might even be coming from a positive place, saying, you know, I wish them to heal, but we don't have anything in common anymore. They are also reminding me of a period that I'm not interested. But I truly feel that this is the work of the collective, right? By staying in our alignment, by respecting our own soul path, by respecting our own soul path, we are an example that at the end of the day will allow some people, through their experience with us, elevate, understand something, gain some kind of awareness, right? This is, at least this is what I feel, right? Even though, as said, I feel, me personally, what I feel, it is that my job with those people, it's done. My job, my path, whatever we had, it's done. This is the word. It is done, right? Not positive, not negative, neutral. It's like if the highest has told me, you are done here now, you need to go to the next adventure. I tell you, here it's done. You close the door and you move on, right? This is truly what I feel regarding those people. But this is still some kind of reward, knowing that with the trace that we left behind and who we are, we have left traces that allow people to elevate, right? To observe their own shadows, right? And maybe heal them. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. Judgment in reverse here, please. Yeah, they need to wow. Yeah, letting go, right? They were attached. Look that we are here with the earth element. We are with the Four of Pentacles, right? So they were holding on to some kind of proofs. I'm going back to the first impression and all those kind of things. The titles, the money, the status, the appearance, right? All those concrete things that at the end of the day, they don't mean anything, right? But they were attached to those things and they have to release it. And look what we have here. Once again, this Three of Cups in reverse. This Three of Cups in reverse. What they were celebrating, in fact, was toxicity, toxic lifestyles. This is what they were celebrating here, right? We have the inner child healing here. They are very, very far, right, from their inner child. All their beliefs, all their judgment, all of that. All of that comes from defense mechanisms that they have developed during their life. So now it's about letting go of all those superficial beliefs, right? What you see doesn't mean anything, right? Doesn't mean anything. It's not because I'm driving this car that it says something about me. It's not because I look a certain way that it says something about me. It might. All those things might say something. But you need to have such a level of understanding, right? That you truly can have a global image. It doesn't come from a place of fear. It doesn't come from a place of quick, I need to be able to put this person in a box because it makes me feel good. No, it comes from a place of patience, observation, understanding, neutral perception, right? This is not what we were talking about. This is not what we were talking about. We were talking about people who made shortcuts all the time, putting people in boxes, positive or negative, according to things that were extremely superficial. And now they have to let it go because they realize that at the end of the day, it was all just, it's kind of praising toxicity, right? Which it might not always have been toxicity, but kind of feel that a lot of things that they didn't even consider, right? The person that they might not have looked at in the room might have been the most interesting person, in fact, right? They don't need the praise, they don't need to be seen, they are not ego-driven, narcissistic, they don't need the attention, and they don't need it because they have an inner world that is full, right? And they didn't pay attention to this person because this person, they might not have the charisma, they might not have the appearance, they might even look a little bit weird, right? Because they might be introvert, they might not play the game, right? So very interesting, very, very interesting. I love to see here this Six of Cups, Six of Water, rethinking the past. And there is here, the card is in the upright. So there is here something open. It is about observing it in an open way. This is why I like to see that, right? Because if it is revisiting the past, but with a very closed mindset, which is what they were into, then there is nothing to observe. In order to be really able to observe, you have to question your own thoughts. You have to question your own reality. And I kind of feel that this is what's going on here. So I love it. 1 second, because I feel that I need to shuffle here. And I will drink a little bit of water. And then we will go to this Nine of Cups. Okay, let's see here. This is the path shift and the path change, right? So the change comes from seeing you truly as being emotionally fulfilled, happy, self-confident, being in your wish fulfillment. Tell me, the Nine of Cups. Very interesting. We have the light here in reverse. They were totally in the dark regarding you. This is what it is. And now they are feeling very, very burdened because they know that they missed an opportunity. They missed the opportunity. They know that it's over, right? They know. Yeah, it's burdensome. It's burdensome to them. Wow. I have a hard time to talk. Yeah. They didn't see anything. Yeah. Because they judged, right? They were very, very quick to judge. Anything else here about this Nine of Cups? Look. The Queen of Earth in the upright. They are looking at you, and what they see, it is someone who is comfortable. You have a level of inner peace and comfort that they don't have. There is here, we are talking here, when we are talking about the Queen of Earth, we are talking about somebody who is extremely grounded. You have what they don't have. They are not grounded. Because they are not grounded, they, in their mind, right, made a lot of shortcuts. They were looking at the appearances without seeing the truth, right? While you might be looking at the appearances but see it from a grounded place. And this is why you might be able to judge people looking at the same things, but seeing something totally different, because you are coming from a place of awareness and self-awareness. It changed everything, right? So yeah, they see you now as being very, very comfortable, caring. We are not here with the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Cups. We are here with the Queen of Pentacles, stability, right? This is very revealing because we are talking here about people that might have judged you through external things, right? With the Pentacles, we are talking about the concrete. So they were judging you about something concrete, but misreading it totally, right? Yeah, and now they know. And they also know that they don't have access anymore. It's a missed opportunity. Look, the Pentacles and the Pentacles, it's a missed opportunity. And it's heavy on them, but I kind of feel that it's important. Because there is their ability to truly awaken to their own toxic ways. We have the toxic ways, the toxic social interaction, the 2 times with this Three of Cups in reverse. That came up 2 times. Look also how strong it is energetically. It is one under the other. Okay, let's go to closure here. Closure. Oh, look. A cutting truth. I see like a slap in the face. A cutting truth. Yeah, it's painful for them because they are looking back now, right? Tell me. Closure. Yeah. I love when the cards are just giving it to me so easily. Yeah. The Two of Cups, right? You are done and over with them, and they know why. They know why. But look, we have the Empress here. Abundance, femininity, comfort. And they don't have access to you. They don't. They thought, right, because you were not responding to some kind of codes and them making all those shortcuts, they didn't see you for you. They saw you through their own beliefs. Everything was projection. Everything was projection. They were blinded by their projection. And I kind of feel that it might be indeed painful for some people to realize, in fact, that whatever they projected on you is the mirror that they need to look into, right? It's projections, which means that it reveals their mind, their beliefs, their way of thinking. It has nothing to do with you. And it is a cutting truth. It is painful, right? I will look if there is anything more here, but I kind of feel that we have a clear image of what's going on. Listen, we have the Nine of Cups and we have the Nine of Pentacles. You are at ease, right? Emotionally, you are at ease. In your comfort, you are at ease. Yeah. This, because I kind of feel that it's not that everybody has like a financial comfort, right? But I kind of feel that anyway, you will make of every place that you are into. I remember that my brother said it to me, right? We can give you like it's not exactly what he said, but the meaning was the same. We can give you the most crappiest place and you will make of it something that you love. Like, because my brother, they need the luxury, right? But the written luxury. And for me, I can make of every place a warm place. Maybe not from every place, because the light for me is important, the wind for me is important, right? But you understand what I mean. I remember that he went to a place of holidays, right? And it was like little houses on the beach, but it's not a house, it's a hut, right? And he hated it. He hated it. And when I was going at the same place a year after, he said, "You will hate it, don't go there." And I loved it. I got into my little hut and I arranged it and it was beautiful. And this was not the important part of the holidays. For me, the important part of the holidays was in the environment, in the energy. Who cares now? But you understand, it's like a different judgment of the reality. And when I'm talking about the comfort, this is what I'm talking about. Having this ability of being mentally also comfortable, to make your environment comfortable to you, right? Do I need to take it out? I don't know. We might be talking about family, right? We might. Doesn't have to be. But this is talking about not a wish fulfillment. They are not in a wish fulfillment, right? Yeah, you don't even grieve them anymore. I kind of feel that you are totally over. You are totally over. Yeah, because at the end of the day, they didn't do anything good for you. Misjudging you all the time. Kind of feel that you see them as manipulators. People trying to be in control when in fact they have absolutely no control. This is why they are projecting all the time. This is why they feel the need to put people in boxes. Because they have no control. So they are trying to control their environment. Right? Yeah, I kind of feel that you might have tried to talk to them. You might have tried to explain things to them. But they didn't hear you. Now they do. Now they do. Yeah, I kind of feel that you are very, very present in people's minds. And it is in a way that now they are questioning themselves, right? There is some kind of higher level of understanding, which I love, right? We are talking here about the collective. We are not talking about specific people. And I know that some of you think people don't change, people this, people that. Let me just remind you that if you put all the people in the same bag, the problem is you, right? This is what racism is about, right? Putting all the people in the same bag. No, not all the people are the same, right? Some people truly have the ability to elevate. Some people are acting from their higher self, even though their higher self might be totally blurred by beliefs that don't make sense and that they never question them, right? We have to respect the fact that there are all kinds of people. We know that there is approximately, I don't know, I saw something saying that in 100 people, there are maybe 25 people who are psychopaths, right? So it's huge. It's huge. I don't know those numbers. I don't know if it's true or not. But even if we take 1% of psychopaths, we know the impact of psychopath on society, right? Does it mean that everybody are psychopath? No. There are some people who simply don't have the understanding, right? Sometimes they grew up with a psychopath and they don't realize. So listen, if in the comments you are putting everybody's the same and nobody's changing, don't be surprised if I don't answer to you, right? Because I'm tired of people. I have no problem, somebody coming once and saying something like that. But staying on that, there is something inside of yourself that you need to heal. Because I'm never telling you that you have to go back. I'm not telling you what to do, right? But being in this idea, it's like those people who say that the other gender, everybody's the same, Like, don't become them. Please, don't. We are supposed to be the collective, right? To be more sensitive and more intelligent, right? So, anyway, this being said, sending you a lot of good vibes, a lot of love. I hope that it was insightful, maybe even healing. I wish you a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, whenever you are watching this. I'll see you in the comments. Until very, very soon. Bye.